How amazingly beautiful are those patterns, don't you think? And how about those proofs? Fantastic. Anyway, those two patterns look very similar, and the two proofs were also pretty much identical. Now, doesn't this suggest that these patterns form the start of an infinite sequence of similar infinite patterns? An infinite pattern of infinite patterns. That'd be cool, right? Well, just on top, we're adding consecutive integers, then squares, then what? Well, cubes, of course. What do you think? Is this going to work? Well, let's have a closer look. What would the first equation for the cubes pattern look like? Well, obviously something like this. A cubed plus b cubed equals c cubed, with a, b, and c being positive integers. Actually, that doesn't look good at all. As all mathologer regulars will know, this is actually impossible. Fermat's mega-famous last theorem, named after the 17th century mathematical superstar Pierre de Fermat, tells us that this equation does not have any positive integer solutions, ABC. So there won't be any nice pattern for cubes. In hindsight, maybe not that surprising. Remember, what made things work, for example, for the squares, was this ingenious reassembly of a square into a shell for a larger square. There. The counterpart for cubes just doesn't work out. Therefore, the nifty construction to work in 3D would expect having to create 6 equal slices, but those 6 slices don't fit nicely around the 6 faces of a smaller cube. Anyway, cubes are out. And actually, much more than cubes is out. Fermat's last theorem also says that even if we replace the 3's in the exponents by any other integer n greater than 2, the equation a to the power of n plus b to the power of n equals c to the power of n won't have any solutions with positive integers a, b, and c. So there goes our sweet dream of an infinite pattern of infinite patterns. Very sad. Well, on the bright side, not having that mega pattern makes our two patterns extra special. There, extra special. Actually, there's a way to make both patterns even more special. I've known about these patterns for most of my life, and I always felt that there was something missing at the top of both patterns, right? Shouldn't there be something there? Well, while preparing for this video, I had another really close look, and I came to the conclusion that it would make sense to extend the patterns like this. So, 0 equals nothing at the top of the first pattern, and 0 squared equals nothing at the top of the second pattern. Bit weird, but don't the patterns now look much more complete? And behold, two very festive looking trees just in time for Christmas. To finish things off for today, here are 3 nice puzzles for you to ponder. Each of these puzzles hides a nice aha moment, and so don't skip them. First puzzle. If the cubical pattern actually had worked out, what would the first a cubed plus b cubed equals c cubed equation have been? Okay, we already know that the two sides of that would-be equation won't be equal. However, what exactly is the difference between the two sides? Nice little surprise waiting for you there. Record your answers in the comments. Second puzzle. Over there is the 1895 painting by Nikolai Bogdanov-Belsky entitled Mental Arithmetic in the Public School of S. Rachinsky. Can you solve the problem on the board in your head in under 30 seconds? What's the answer? And what's your strategy for attacking this problem? Again, leave your answers in the comments. Final puzzle. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. How about 3 cubed plus 4 cubed plus 5 cubed equals what cubed? What about the next sum in the sequence? Be surprised and leave your answers in the comments. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this somewhat unusual mathologer video.
Man, so I cannot say that I followed all that math. I think I need to practice a lot more at a lot of what he does, and I don't have the time to practice all that, but I just find this just to be such a very, how do I say it, even though I don't follow all this math, I still learn a lot by his kind of just following the central arguments of what he's trying to say. And I don't think I'll ever have the time, at least in the foreseeable future, to sit down and practice all of that and just follow him through all that. But I'm just gonna, as they say, fake it until you make it. I mean, I learned a bunch from spending like less than 10 minutes on this, and learned a bunch of his pearls of wisdom, and maybe doing other stuff I'll be good at. Uh, Seeing all these patterns and squares and straight edges. And Fermat's last theorem, the super mega famous, incredible, magical feeling story of math. It just, I can tell, it feels, I think he's only really interested in all these patterns of straight edges, squares, cubes, because of Fermat's last theorem. He's probably thinking he could find something which isn't the modern proof of Fermat's last theorem, and maybe he will. And maybe we're just not seeing things as Fermat famously wrote in the margins, that something's truly remarkable. I don't know if that modern proof by Andrew Wiles is really what Fermat saw, or at least thought he saw. Some people say Fermat was mistaken, but Fermat is pretty legit. I don't know if he just saw something wrong. I mean, in the best of all possible worlds, Fermat saw something that has still eluded humankind's entire mathematical community. I don't know what the truth is, but maybe with more time, maybe we'll definitively explore this very mysterious and magical story in the annals of the history of mathematics. And I don't know, watching all these videos without rigorously following the math, it's still increasing my math skills, and maybe there's other ways of seeing all these patterns with straight edges and squares and cubes, as well as computing 10 squared plus 11 squared plus 12 squared plus 13 squared plus 14 squared divided by 365. I cannot even start to think of how you can compute that very quickly. Anyway, I'll just leave this video there.